Michael.
I'm Woodman.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to the Patriot Hour. Please. All right.
What is up to the people?
How you doing over there, Woodman?
Fantastic. Yourself?
All right. Not bad, brother. Not bad. Okay, let me see a few things here.
Oh, yeah, there's some good stuff happening. We've got a little bit of comedy relief for you at this show coming up this hour. We have obviously lots of facts and truths to smack you in the face, and for some people, it needs to be a healthy punch of truth to the face. So it's some interesting stuff. We were in a little pre-show research talk. We were talking about possible there's still military at the border. What's happening there? Obviously, the mainstream media doesn't know what to do with themselves because we're speculating and hypothesizing that their handlers have gone, well, AWOL. Off the res. What you think about what's going on, Woodman? Yeah. What's this AWOL business with all the handlers we're hypothesizing here?
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking we were talking, this is why we got this backdrop up. Military at the border. That was the first little stage that happened in when they gearing up in November. And there's some reports that some of them have left, gone home, back to their, home base. But did the military and Trump that actually have intelligence gathering tools and all the intel and know-how that this caravan that was coming was an orchestrated event. The lead guy that was bringing them was maybe paid by somebody, and this guy's a known terrorist. So you're bringing, and everyone's like, well, there's still just a bunch of peaceful women, but we saw it was mostly able-bodied young men, and most of the photos, the ones that are able to jump the wall anyway, and then they knew naturally bringing 10,000, 15 from Honduras that you'd get a bunch of other ones through Mexico that would just naturally be like, we want to go too. So you're going to get more followers. And then on this side already, crossing in these areas where Jim was showing, nothing for a trained mercenary or a wannabe soldier of fortune of sorts that are already here for the last 8 months, gearing up, setting up shop, arming up. And when this 20,000 did hit, they would blend in really quickly, possibly arm some of the ones that were already gonna, it was a way to get armed the minute that you got some of these able-bodied men and everything, the minute they got here. It wasn't real intelligent to be walking from Honduras to here with weaponry off your back and photos being taken of that. So I don't know. That's a possibility. But all I'm saying is if you have the military and Trump for some reason wanting to put the military down there, just in case. Now, they were given orders to stay back. And again, we end up having the Border Patrol agent on the front lines, local law enforcement probably somewhere in between. I don't know the extent of it, but it is interesting. What do you guys think about that kind of scenario if you have the military and Trump catch on with intel and find out things like that versus, no, it's just a peaceful caravan and we don't probably have a bunch of bad people in the country. Trump just sent military down there for whatever other reasons.
Well, if you think about it, back in the beginning when they started doing that, they referred to as a percentage. Out of this major crowd of people coming, only a certain percentage, that may be, on the evil side of some one way or nature, Well, on the way up through there, like you were saying, Mike, then others joined in with it. So, that escalated a little bit. Of course, now they don't want to say it that way.
I'm not denying that there was some women, children, and civil young men or whatever, adult civil men that just naturally picked up, even from the Honduras beginning. So that was the whole plan. They would take whoever would come. That would just help the storyline, I would imagine. But what's your thoughts on that, Ben?
Well, I think we were clearly told by the horse's mouth, if you will, the border agents, the ICE agents that Trump went in the field and talked to. They very clearly gave him some very hard
coming up
numbers.
to like yesterday, right?
They're
now
not,
that
yes, coming up to yesterday. They're telling him
live talk.
Yeah, they're saying that not everybody. Are you kidding me? They're not all quote unquote Mexicans from the country of Mexico. They're coming in from. They have Pakistanis. They have Afghanistan individuals. They have people coming in from China, Libya. They have the people coming in from the North Africa, South Africa, and they're coming in all over because
and it's like there's only like 800 of them or so. They're saying, how do we know?
Think about it. Yes,
because
and not only that.
Like if you're in a ball game, folks, and the people have the little clickers. And a lot of them doormen will be like, as people come in, you'll get bouncers at bars, right, guys? I mean, it's like because there's a code. They know they could have 220 people at a capacity, and if not, they're going to violate codes with the city. So some people do keep count, but there's nobody doing that for illegals. So how do they even give us a number?
Yeah, I definitely think, obviously, there's a lot more than just enfranchised, hungry people coming to America for the American dream. That's been a guise and a falsehood for the last 100 years.
And I don't think it's the only way.
Yeah, it's not the only way. And think about it, you guys. Mike made a clear point. What is the logistics of getting 10,000 people 1,000 miles? Just how about 100 miles? Remember, you guys, when we see this stuff, it takes a massive amount of money, logistics, and not just one person. It takes a lot of people. And what they didn't show you from the first caravan until they became a potential body of invaders, but were repelled off, they were desolating and decimating each small village and city they were going through. Trash everywhere, human fecal matter, and everything you can possibly imagine. And so if this is possibly gearing up again, and Trump's already telling us while he's standing there at the border with the ICE and border agents behind him, telling him, this is what we were doing. He was like, there's another one coming, possibly bigger than the first one. And where is all this finance and logistics coming from? Obviously from those who have an unlimited amount of finances and have almost a ubiquitous form of power on individuals that can do this kind of stuff. Because think about it. You don't just get 10,000 people to get up and leave their homes and take their belongings they have and go trek across 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's just lunacy.
So do we... And like I said, I don't think it's the only thing, the border. I think it's one of the major ways. And I think it's, just not the only way. But if it's even 25% of how things are done, Trump's explaining that people are driving. The huge one is human trafficking.
Yes.
You can't fly commercial with we all know that. So now people are like, well, they're doing it by plane. Well, these guys, it's so orchestrated, they do it by private plane. I don't know, maybe some, I'm sure. But I think a big one's out of that southern border where there is no fence. They know it. They have these vehicles that are really awesome, like Trump was saying, that can just...
If I see some jacked up 4x4 rigs in my neck of the woods that can pretty much overpower any type of natural thing around here, I'm only certain what the evil cabal on the other side has access to. I mean, these people have access to military equipment that, as common Americans, we don't have access to because there's no real continuity of accountability in them kind of countries. So they kind of get, if you got enough money, you can buy a tank, and you can buy one here. It's just not the weaponry is not functional, where the one over there, weaponry is still functional. So I think it is very interesting. And yes, I would agree with you, Woodman, and definitely you, Mike, both of you guys very much so, that the military is still there. I think it's been put back as another physical symbol of, hey, if things go off, we're taking to the next level. But I do think that this partial shutdown will stay until there is a physical barrier. And if it if they don't come to agreement, that could have been the whole plan in the beginning, was to keep the government shut down, because now it opens up other avenues like killing the Fed, dismantling the District of Columbia, and possibly turning it back into a municipality, not a sovereign country. And this can only be happen when, i.e., we are not allowed to borrow. We're at a governmental partial shutdown, but it's a shutdown of, you're talking Department of Natural Resources.
It's a lot of the loaning, the banking and loaning spots, folks. We're digging into it. What do you guys think about that? Are we in a shutdown? Is this part of it? Are we currently in the midst of, did the Fed get usurped? Kind of like they usurped us in 1871. Was this a usurping?
Yes.
What do you guys think on that? Is it a possibility? Real quick, by the way, I hope the stream's out there. I did juice it up. I did some different settings, actually going a couple megabytes higher. So looks like we got a good amount in the room. I'm hoping it's stable. Again, do you see likes anywhere? I don't know where we're at on likes.
Like, I see about 62. I'm going to hit it, make it 63, and I'm showing 292 watching. So, I mean, this is, I feel like super blessed that you guys could be with us this afternoon and really get into this kind of stuff. It's always a treat when we got Woodman and myself remoting into the studio.
Yes. So a couple things, if we can get, we'll open up a chat line. If anyone wants to call in with an opinion or a question, we'll do that. We probably won't bring anyone in, just to keep it quick. You can give a shout out, whatever. But if you want to call in, I'm going to put up a little, it's a different kind of call in. It's not just a number, but it is something you do with your phone or tablet or from a computer.
Yes.
And you don't really need to get your camera. You're just going to talk into your phone like normal, and we'll hear you.
Just gonna do like a normal old vocal call in, if you will, just 21st century
if you're on your phone
style.
watching the show and you want to call in like that, you're gonna basically have to get out of the show while you do it, and then you have to go back and watch that show to watch that part again. But you'll know what's happening because you're talking.
Don't watch, be a part of it, people.
We'll open up the phones. What how many likes are we at right now? 60, 70?
I see 154.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, once we get to like 200, let's make it 250 likes.
Let's make it 250, yeah, and then we'll open up.
And then also,
now
we're gonna do another challenge coin today. So anyone that wants to, because of the times we're entering in again, we are going with a. Let me get. You guys are still on. Can you be here or talk? Oh, their voices are off. There we go. Armor of God. It's in the packaging and all. I will mail that out.
I'm liking that. Should be excited to see who gets that little gem.
How we do
tangible
that?
Piece of truth.
The email. All right. So go to the email, and again, start firing up the emails. Let me see them come through and in, because I'll be getting another package out, and I have a couple more mods I got to take care of. Chris, I think Stockton, and Danielle, and
a lot of you awesome Patriots, man, for sure. Now I'm going to be throwing up, boom, that's the email, the Patriot Hour 2018 at gmail.com. I put it up in the top chat, so if you guys can always click that.
And I believe it's below the video. Let me look.
Should be below as well.
It's down there low, but yeah, it's in there.
Okay, yep, there it is. So
I think I'm looking. Anyway, what?
No worries, you guys. So, I'll definitely.
Yeah, it is. It's down there for sure, but also in the live chat. Ben just dropped it off in there, and you can drop it off maybe again here. But check that out. Other than that, Woodman, what do you think in a collective thought on the security at the border, the overall barrier fence? I have a quick thought, and I've said it many times, but if you have a certain portion of the country arguing that it won't work, that's what you always come up against. It ain't gonna work. They're gonna get over it this way or that way. They'll put a ladder on it. So you have to come up with these scenarios where now they're carrying ladders through the deserts and treks and whatever. But build it. If it doesn't work, what worse situation are we in? Like, we have a crisis of drugs, human trafficking, and the flow of people. And I'd put that last in my own priority. I might be wrong. I can understand that faction when it's a woman, a child, a man. They're just hungry. They want to eat. They want to work, and they're going to do whatever it takes. That is the least of my concern. I still would like it to be done the right way because we take in millions a year. But go on. What is your thought on that whole scenario?
Well, for anybody to come into the country and you do it legally, there's no problems anywhere. You have to have a wall. You have to have some kind of a setup. You have to. It won't stop them all, but it's sure going to stop probably a good 80% of them. I mean, seriously.
Because Ben was saying the same thing. Able-bodied men that are pretty good could probably climb it, right, Ben? But not like so much a woman and a baby and old elderly that.
What I was going to say
only
was, in a laughing matter, I've got to say this. These anti-wall people, they must know Mexico must have about 5,000 MacGyvers that can go ahead and maneuver that wall without any problem. You know what I mean? Come out with some kind of a extendo.
Oh, they already. Yes, hey, they can come out. I mean, if they hide their footprints by wrapping their shoes in regular household carpet, which is the most ingenious thing to cover one's tracks, and they do that, and we've all of us been taught how to cover our tracks, and exactly, MacGyvers, you have no idea. But just like we talked about, having a physical symbol that is, it says you can't come in here. We all know a lock only keeps an honest man honest. Babies ain't climbing that wall. Women ain't climbing that wall. Old folks ain't climbing that wall. That's only able-bodied men.
So really logically, I'm going to say in that quickest way I can, you've said it best too. Like, we look at the number, the amount that the budget was put out for this year, the amount that the actual Trump is saying that he needs, the $5 billion. And it's been a big thing. People are coming up off their couch like, no, that's a waste. And they're just so mad. That is the biggest thing that they've, that they can think of that's been a waste in their life. But it's actually for the good. It'll stop trafficking. It can stop some drug flow. Now, if it doesn't stop all of the trafficking, if it doesn't stop all of the drug flow, I get it. But at least it stops some of it. But you build it, it costs $5 billion. Out of the budget they have compared to the $5 billion, it's pennies. It's like Woodman making $50,000 a year and you spending about $4 out of your yearly $50,000 you make at work on a lock for your door because the lock broke. And if you're like, no, I'm not spending $5, and you're arguing with yourself and you keep going into your wallet to get the $5 out, but then you put it back and you're like, no, I don't really need it. And you either make the choice or you don't, but it doesn't break the bank by any means. So that's what the equivalent is. It really is. It's $5 out of our pockets to put a lock on the country's door, and people are arguing with it. I don't get it. Well, but
let me ask you this, Mike and Ben. Let's just say, what would happen if there is no wall? There is no restriction. Reverse this. You go do that to another country.